A dense swarm of dust insects engulfed Hera, trapping her in a vortex. A crushing force pinned her down. She tried to get up, but it was useless. Her organs felt ready to burst. Her bones screamed in agony, and all she could do was shriek. Xiao Ju restrained Hades, preventing him from moving. He was now on the defensive, unable to attack. Athena's tragic screams echoed in his ears. Her body was pierced by Xiao Wu's power, left dangling in the air. Somewhere, the agonizing screams of another outer god rang out. The green ants on his body spread faster than mushrooms after rain, from his legs and arms to his entire body and head. It was as if every fiber of his being was being slowly corroded by acid. A maddening, burning pain. His face twisted grotesquely as he screamed. On Baki's side, its rough body coiled around the god of wine. One of its massive heads hissed, its large mouth biting into his shoulder. Stunning him, Machess used the golden sands of time to smash and bury Cupid in the sand. She desperately reached out, crying for help. As for Xiao Wu, he summoned the heaven-swallowing beast. With one decisive slash of its massive pincer, the enemy was swatted like a grain of sand onto the stone floor. A desperate cry echoed across the graveyard island. Fenrir lunged forward, his massive jaws snapping up an outer god. The Siezi galloped forth, its sharp horn piercing through another's body. The golden-winged rock spread its wings, spewing a sea of fire toward Poseidon. As the flames swept over, unending, wretched screams rang out. Tragic screams echoed from all directions. Zeus frowned, his eyes quickly scanning the battlefield. He gritted his teeth and roared. All of you, use your true forms, burn your lifespans, and counterattack with all your might. Hearing this, Athena's weak body trembled. She tried her best to reach for Zeus, her breath shallow as she pleaded. God King, don't I fear there is a mysterious existence here? We will be. Zeus understood. But in this situation, they would be eliminated early if they didn't fight back. He pressed a hand to his wound, the veins on his face bulging as his eyes grew ruthless. He replied, If we don't fight, we will surely die. Even if there is some mysterious being here, it's not certain it can do anything to us. Sister 18 raised her wine gourd, taking a sip to savor the god of wine's vintage. Hearing Zeus's words, she glanced over, a slight smile playing on her lips. Haha, how naive. Jiangshen heard Zeus rallying all the outer gods for a counterattack. His expression turned cold, and he tightened his grip on the heaven's sin blade, immediately giving an order. Everyone, listen up, annihilate them, with all your strength. Don't give them a chance. Seeing Jiangshen's actions, Sister 18 smiled at him. Looking down from above, she couldn't help but size him up. This little brother is still too naive, getting so tense over such a small matter. But that's also what makes him a little cute. Following Zeus's command, the stone slabs began to shake, rattling the entire graveyard island. The hands of the gods started to break through the earth. In a flash, the outer gods on the stone slabs appeared all at once. Beams of vibrant, colorful light shot straight into the sky, creating a magnificent spectacle. The entire island seemed to be enveloped in a bright pink shield. Opening his eyes again, Zeus felt his body brimming with power, ready to vaporize anyone who touched him. The graveyard island before him was bathed in this light. A world-shattering pressure erupted, and thunder boomed down. The intense light stabbed at everyone's eyes. In that moment, all the people and divine beasts cried out in shock. Quickly retreating and shielding their eyes. Feeling the pressure crushing his body, Jiangshen looked at the formation before him, truly beyond his imagination. He crouched down, lowering his center of gravity, his eyes wide with shock. What terrifying power! Is this their true strength? After a few minutes, led by Zeus, his body had fully recovered to its original state. The lightning bolt in his hand crackled, filling the sky with thunderous sparks. Behind him were the other outer gods under his command, their weapons raised high. Every face was filled with hatred as they stared at Jiang Shen's group. Zeus roared. The gods have returned to their thrones. Zeus took command. Charging forward. Follow me and slaughter these runts, exterminate the four pests, the outer gods behind him. Weapons at the ready. Unleashed all 81 of their techniques. Rushing to support Zeus in a surprise attack on Jiang Shen. The entire legion of outer gods was advancing for the slaughter when swoosh, a beam of light descended from the sky. It was a faint golden light. A gentle warmth that shone upon their bodies. Time itself seemed to freeze. The outer gods were all stopped in their tracks. Suspended in midair. Before they could react, not that they had a chance to, a black hole suddenly appeared on each of their foreheads. Something was taken away. The outer gods' bodies convulsed violently. Now, like puppets drained of life, the beam of light appeared for only an instant before vanishing, as if it had simply swept past without a trace. As the light faded, the bodies of the outer gods began to lose their buoyancy. They fell one by one, like snapped violin strings, thudding onto the ground under the gaze of countless bewildered eyes. Jiang Shen and the others watched warily. Xiao Ja stayed close by his side. What are they trying to do? Is this a trap? He stepped closer to observe. His eyes filled with suspicion. What kind of trick are they playing? To be certain, there were no mistakes. Jiang Shen quickly closed his eyes, focused intently, and sent out his consciousness, probing with his eye of nothingness. Before him were the outer gods. But with one difference. They're all dead. He couldn't believe it. He looked again, exclaiming in shock. They're all dead. But he didn't understand. Jiang Shen's face was filled with a million questions. He stared blankly at the corpses on the ground. In just a moment. Not even a second. Just a flash of warm light. And these master gods are... What in the world happened? We haven't even fought yet. As if remembering something. Jiang Shen rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Is this the time that Sister 18 mentioned before? You get hit by the light of time, and you just... die. What does that even mean? This bizarre technique was truly demonic. Looking toward Sister 18, he directed the tree branch toward where she was sitting. She must know the truth. Seeing his bewildered expression, she knew this would happen. She crossed her arms, sitting elegantly on the golden sand, and said with her eyes lightly closed, It's true that I know, but heaven's secrets must not be revealed. At your current level, knowing these things will only get you killed faster. Taking a sip from her wine gourd, she looked at him and said, For now, I can only tell you this, Xiao Ja's meal doesn't end with just these outer gods. Jiang Shen's brow furrowed slightly. He looked at her in surprise and exclaimed, What? You mean there's more? Sister 18 gazed into the desolate distance and said, The 9th and 8th levels of the heavenly abyss. A total of Tao. 0, 2, 4, God and demon corpses. They are all a gift to you from those above. This should be enough for your red-armored elephant insect to grow. Huh, what did you say? Such a huge number. Jiang Shen was stunned. He looked at her with a serious expression and asked, Over 10,000 corpses, all killed in that single moment. A gift for me. Who are those above? What level of power would it take to do something like this? Sister 18 closed her eyes slightly and replied, Neither too fast nor too slow. They are merely the chess players. Although you are a piece they value. You are no ordinary piece. Finishing her words, she stood up and walked in front of him. She pointed a finger at Jiang Shen and looked him straight in the eye, saying, You are the chess piece that can escape the board. Another riddle. He didn't know how to respond and could only look at her in silence. By a clear blue lake, clusters of peach blossoms were in full bloom. Petals danced on the wind before one's eyes. A fishing line was gently cast. The water's surface reflected the image of a small bamboo rod under the water's shadow. With ripples spreading out in circles, an old man sat silently by the lake, his eyes closed, holding a bamboo fishing rod. On his worn-out straw hat, a small branch occasionally sprouted, emitting a faint golden light. The scene was simple and peaceful. The flower petals drifted aimlessly, their fragrance wafting to his nose. The old man suddenly opened his eyes, a smile on his lips. He spoke a seemingly random sentence. So, it has finally arrived. The branch on his hat had already sprouted a few new leaves, growing lushly. Time really does fly. A single nap, and tens of thousands of years have passed. After so long, I wonder what things are like outside. His hand holding the bamboo rod gently touched the surface of the lake. The lake's surface, like a mirror, reflected everything. In an instant, the image of Jiang Shen and Ji Xuanyu entering the Ju Li divine treasury appeared. The old man smiled kindly at the young man in the water. Little fellow, we finally meet. Glancing at the girl beside him, he stroked his beard and remarked, this girl's talent is not bad either. She might even be able to comprehend the origin of the way of the divine archer. He calculated on his fingers and was surprised. And she even has the Ju Li bloodline. Looking at Ji Xuanyu's reflection in the lake, the old man nodded in satisfaction and smiled. Not bad. Not bad. If we send her to Ho Yi, she might even become his successor. Suddenly, a deep voice spoke, a barely perceptible hint of joy in its words. The image of a white-robed, white-haired elder gradually appeared from behind. After all our years of planning, this little fellow has finally arrived. The old man immediately let go of the bamboo rod, clasped his hands respectfully, and bowed his head. He replied with a faint smile. Indeed. Tiansun, the white-robed figure hummed in acknowledgement. His long, slender fingers began to move, performing a calculation. He narrowed his eyes, a flicker of surprise in them. Besides us. It seems someone else downstream in the river of time is also helping him. Who could it be? His fingers moved again. Faster and faster. He frowned slightly, stroking his white beard. I can't seem to divine who it is. It appears this boy has quite a few secrets. If I can't figure it out, there's no need to worry about it. He turned his head slightly. I wonder if it's one of those old holdouts or some unknown existence. Never mind. It's not a bad thing. The white-robed figure looked at Jiang Shen in the lake and spoke softly to the old man with the fishing rod. He has a red-armored elephant insect with him. Kill all the gods and demons on the 8th and 9th levels of the heavenly abyss. Take them out for him to feed his little bug. Consider it a welcoming gift. The white-robed figure stroked his beard and said softly, It's fine. I will act. This entire heavenly abyss will soon enter the turbulent currents of the river of time. Nothing that happens here will be detected. The old man followed the figure's gaze into the water and nodded. Still holding the bamboo rod, he replied, This disciple understands. I apologize for troubling you. Tiansun. After the Tiansun left, the old man's eyes narrowed. He stroked his beard, deep in thought. Even the Tianzun is giving such a grand welcoming gift. No. I must give one too. It's rare for all the old masters to gather in one place. I can't miss this wonderful opportunity. He frowned, stroking his beard for a long time. But what would be a good gift? He suddenly remembered the branch on his head. The enlightenment tree. That's probably not grand enough. Glancing at the fluttering flower petals, he had a sudden realization. He opened his palm, and sparkling purple crystal fragments appeared before his eyes. I've got it. I'll give him the shards of the 9 nether that I've collected over the years. That's settled. Then, the old man began to form hand seals. A small, glowing golden orb flew up. The bright purple crystal fragments shot across the sea of flowers like shooting stars, flying into the distance. The Tianzun kills foreign gods and demons for you to feed your red-armored elephant. So I'll give you these shards to nurture your 9-winged miasma. At the same time, Jiang Shen pointed toward the graveyard island and said to Xiao Ja, Xiao Ja, Father once said he would take you to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Today, I'm making good on that promise. All these gods and demons belong to you and your little bugs. Hearing these words, Xiao Jia choked up and exclaimed, Father. His red pupils blinked as he looked at him with reverence. He knelt on one knee and carefully took his father's hand. Father, please forgive me for misunderstanding you in the past. and for all the curses I held deep in my heart. From now on, I will no longer question why you can have 8 wives while I can't even have 3. Jiang Shen's mouth twitched as he looked at him. Curses, 8 wives. What is this nonsense? At this moment, Xiao Ja saw his father as an unwavering pillar of strength in his heart. He gripped his hand tightly. Father, that's not the main point. The main point is that I now recognize you as a truly great father. Jiang Shen's mouth twitched again. Kid, if it's not the main point, then don't say it. Faced with his beloved son's solemn demeanor and heartfelt confession, he got goosebumps. He quickly pulled his hand back and said, All right. I get it. Go on and eat. After you're done, we still have to get the amber blade. Faced with the buffet prepared by his father, Xiao Ja stood up, turned around, and immediately unleashed his full power, heading straight for the island. Little bugs. Let's eat. Returning to his true form, he began to devour everything relentlessly while commanding his other insects. How much you can eat depends on your own ability. The next second, the entire island was plunged into darkness. Swarmed by red-armored insects, Jiang Shen and the others watched from a distance. He looked at the island and the speed at which Xiao Jia was consuming everything. After this wave of consumption, they'll be able to reproduce to the point of causing a natural disaster. Xiao Jia should also be able to reach the 5th revolution and complete his 2nd life evolution. Swoosh. Jiang Shen immediately turned his head, looking on in surprise. A shooting star. Huh, what is this? Before he could react, Jiang Shen saw the streak of light shoot towards Xiao Ju, causing her to cry out. Ugh, her entire body was instantly bound, unable to move, at the mercy of the light wrapping around her. The light grew more intense, covering her entire body. Xiao Ju seemed to sense something and didn't resist at all. Every cell in her body was filled with an influx of energy, an indescribable comfort. Huh. Seeing that Xiao Ju wasn't resisting, Jiang Shen worried it might be a sneak attack. He panicked and was about to rush forward. Xiao Ju, suddenly, Sister 18's hand reached out to stop him. What are you panicking for? Jiang Shen frowned, looking at her with confusion. Seeing how worried he was, Sister 18 said, These shards of the 9 nether are a good thing. He was stunned. Shards of the 9 nether. Xiao Ju felt the streams of energy flowing through her body. The bright purple crystal fragments continuously merged with her. Closing her eyes slightly, Xiao Ju exclaimed, this feels so good. Giant crystal fragments gradually appeared in the space around Xiao Ju, and the image of an ancient structure flickered in and out of existence. Isn't this the illusion of the 9 Nether Palace that appeared when Xiao Ju used the 9 Nether's initial form to kill the Flame Sovereign? Is it now reassembling and solidifying into a real entity? In a flash, the crystal illusion slowly disappeared. Xiao Ju's body underwent a dramatic transformation. A brilliant purple power emanated from her entire being. She clutched her chest and screamed. When she opened her eyes again, her blood-red pupils held an unfathomable danger. Her entire being radiated a heavenly aura. In a flash, she had landed on the tree branch where Jiang Shen was standing. Seeing that Xiao Ju was safe and sound, the weight in Jiang Shen's heart was finally lifted. He looked at Sister 18 and asked, Is Xiao Ju's 9 Nether complete now? Sister 18 shook her head slightly, looked at Xiao Ju, and replied, Not yet. It's still missing a few shards of the 9 Nether. She narrowed her eyes, calculating something in her mind. After a moment, she spoke. Besides, the Fengdu Great Emperor and the 10 Yama Kings have not yet returned to their positions. Jiang Shen asked, confused. What are those? How do they return to their positions? Holding the wine gourd, Sister 18 glanced at his curious expression and said with a smile, Don't be in such a hurry. You'll find out once you get out of here. At the same time, Yun Jiantian heard the urgent report and rushed over as fast as he could. When he arrived, he stared wide-eyed and yelled, What? The entrance to the heavenly abyss has disappeared? The guard replied, Yes. Commander. The guard nervously recounted the entire incident. Not long after that, young man went inside. The entrance to the heavenly abyss suddenly vanished. There were no warning signs or fluctuations. It just flashed and disappeared instantly. Yun Jiantian stared at the empty space where the entrance to the heavenly abyss used to be. Sweat pouring down his face. He started praying in his heart. I'm screwed. I'm so screwed. The great war in the earth abyss is about to break out. If anything happens to Jiang Shen, seeing his commander's face look like he'd just stepped on a landmine, the guard quickly stepped forward and whispered, Commander, our people are all on that side. They'll surely hold out. Why don't we keep this information quiet for now? Maybe the heavenly abyss will... Before he could finish, Yun Jiantian slapped the guard across the face, roaring furiously. What, do you have any idea who that young man is? He is the sea-suppressing king of Daxia. The human emperor Jiang Yu dare to hide this. Do you want the entire Yun family to be wiped out? Yun Jiantian's eyes were now bloodshot. His face as purple as a pig's liver. He screamed. Immediately send word to the great dreamers. Sword God Ji and War God Jiang, go find him, all members of the Yun family. Follow me, we must find the human emperor Jiang, the guard. His face stinging from the slap. Didn't dare to delay and immediately replied. Yes. Commander. Ji Lingchu was practicing his swordsmanship when he heard the news. His expression changed instantly, and he cried out in alarm. What? Huan Yue was sound asleep but shot up immediately upon hearing the news. Her eyes wide with disbelief. Xiao Shen and the entire heavenly abyss have disappeared. Jiang Xuanji, who was in the military camp, heard the news and immediately set out. His aura was overwhelming. His brow tightly furrowed as he commanded. All nation guarding class changers. Use all your power to search for Jiang Shen's whereabouts. The three great dreamers, the guardians of Daxia, received the news and, without a second word, transformed into streaks of light and flew to the Yun family's residence. As soon as Huan Yue arrived, she saw Jiang Xuanji and hurried over. Xiao Jiang. You're here, Ji Lingqiu. With a grave expression, said to him, It won't be long before the myriad races attack Daxia. Is everything all right in the earth abyss? Jiang Xuanji, having just landed, replied, Things in the earth abyss are indeed not good. So I used an illusionary clone to give a few instructions before returning. Jiang Xuanji looked at his two comrades and asked with a frown. Still no news of Xiao Shen. Huan Yue frowned, her expression serious as she replied, I've searched the dreams of hundreds of billions of people across Daxia, but there are still no clues. Ji Lingqiu also looked helpless. The other nation guardians and I have scanned all of Daxia with our spiritual senses, but we still haven't found any trace of Xiao Shen or the heavenly abyss. Jiang Xuanji seemed to remember something. He gazed into the distant sky and gave a bitter, helpless smile. So this is what it meant. That Daxia was about to fall into a great calamity. Huan Yue looked worriedly at Jiang Xuanji. Sao Jiang. Xiao Shen hasn't. Has he? Jiang Xuanji shook his head and waved his hand. No. Xiao Shen is definitely fine. He just can't return anytime soon. Everyone, stop searching. This matter is already set in stone. Seeing that everyone was still determined to search, Jiang Xuanji frowned and said seriously, In just a few days, the seal of the heavenly Tao will open, beginning the 10th revolution. We need to prepare urgently. With Xiao Shen gone, we must protect Daxia. Ji Lingqiu understood the urgency of the situation. Though worried, he would not be negligent. Don't worry. Huan Yue and I have already entered the 10th revolution. Hearing this, Jiang Xuanji smiled happily. Turning his back to the two, he said, That's good. You don't need to worry about the earth abyss anymore. Just protect the central region of Daxia for me. Huan Yue, fearful, shouted at his departing back. I alone am enough to protect Daxia. She stared wide-eyed at Jiang Xuanji, worried he would actually die. She quickly said, The battle in the earth abyss is incredibly dangerous. Take all the class changers you can. Take Xiao Ji with you too, otherwise. I can't rest easy. Jiang Xuanji stopped for a few seconds, then waved his hand and replied calmly, No. If I fall in battle this time, Daxia needs someone to hold the line. At the very least, we must hold out until the day Xiao Shen truly matures. Ji Lingchu's eyes were filled with a mix of shock and regret. Old Jiang. Huan Yue watched his figure, her mood sinking. She said softly, Xiao Jiang, can you please not die? Hearing this, Jiang Xuanji laughed heartily and replied cheerfully, All right, I'll listen to you. I won't die for the time being. He turned around, his figure gradually becoming ethereal. The brilliant aura around him couldn't hide his smiling face. Forever fighting for Daxia. In the chaotic space-time of the Earth abyss, the people were gathered for a meeting. Surrounded by everyone, a figure announced, Everyone. There are only 3 days left. The seal of the heavenly Tao will begin its 10th revolution. We can prepare to make our move. The Nine-Rider Demon King stroked his chin, looking at the flickering blue flame. But none of the ancestors can sense Jiang Shen's whereabouts. Our assassination plan has failed. I have a feeling something is about to go wrong with this. The T-Spirit Demon Lord snorted coldly, his eyes narrowing with calculation. Umph. Indeed. I suspect the Yan Huang of the human race has hidden him away. But no matter. If he doesn't dare to show his face, we'll just eliminate Jiang Xuanji and the others first. He scanned the crowd, his sharp, clawed hand clenching into a fist. A bloodthirsty, cruel expression appeared on his face. As for Jiang Shen, we'll kill him whenever he decides to show up.